Hey guys, how are you? I'm doing great and I hope you are too. In today's video, we will break down I-DLE's best breakup song, Hann. For those who don't know, the songs Han Han, Alone in Winter, and Hwaa are a trilogy, and I want to make a video explaining how they are all tied together. However, before doing so, I decided that would be better to explain each song thoroughly, so you guys can understand the trilogy video even better. So let's dig into it. First, let's talk about the title of the song, Hann. Yeah, not this one. On I-DLE's first comeback, Soyeon already knew that Han was going to be part of a trilogy. The song's name holds two meanings. The first is an ambivalent feeling of betrayal, detachment, and forsaken upon false promises. Soyeon said she was inspired by the book of poems, Azaleas. I read the book just to make this video. Yes, you guys should value me more. In the book, the feeling is described as a heavy feeling of resentment, suffering from injustice, regret, and sadness. It is a complex, deep emotion encompassing rage, regret, grief, and more. The second one is more obvious. Han is also a way of counting in Korean, and it represents the number 1. To clarify, the word shouldn't be used by itself. It should be used with a unit measure. I don't count with Han, but if I, for instance, wanted to say one person, I should say Han person. Soyeon purposely did this to show that not only does it mean the number 1, but also one unit of something, probably alluding to one unit of person, to mean that now she's just one since she's broken up with the man. The Chinese character used also means one. The reason for it to be called one is because Han is the first song of the trilogy. Do you remember what you said? This line brings up a past dialogue, a memory of her boyfriend lying and promising he'd never leave her or make her sad. She asks him if he doesn't remember that because it seemed genuine and true-hearted back then, but it changed now. Usually, at the start of a relationship, many promises are made, not only physical ones like gifts, but also words. Soyeon used the word "koneta" here, which is usually used when meeting someone for the first time. The whole thing means to promise and pass things, like sentiments, through words. A good example would be saying something like, "I'll love you forever." She again asks if he remembers what he said to emphasize her scorn for the fact that contrary to what he promised, he changed as if he'd taken some pill that altered his heart. Here the word used is draped, yes, just like a curtain. Drape is a word usually used to talk about a piece of cloth loosely or casually on or around something. The blue represents sadness, evoking the sentiment that they are embracing the sadness, and for that, their vision has gotten blurred. Doesn't he regret all the empty promises and lies? She proceeds to say that she likes her lonely life as she embraces the farewell. A nice thing happens here, and in Shuhua's part as well. Soyeon uses the word yesterday to refer to the past. The yesterday's boo is their past love. This is something she does a lot in her songs. She uses prosaic words but makes sure that they will have a deeper meaning. The water is a reference to their tears, as they are embracing the end of the relationship. They swallow their tears, and by doing so they cool off and feel somewhat lighter. There's another possibility here. 물 먹다 is a Korean expression that means to deceive someone. Soyeon changed a word, but the meaning remains the same. They've been deceived, but now they are fine. There's nothing worse than being deceived, especially by someone you love so much, and for that they wish to ruin the man. They won't hold him in their heart or memories any further. It is over, and it's time to let go. See, there it is again. One thing about this song is that just like in the poem mentioned earlier, it doesn't hold any lingering feelings towards the person who left them. The girls don't wish the guy back nor still love him, and these lyrics show it well. Despite being so hurt by this man's actions, they still wish him a nice farewell. And the reason for that is because they now have seen who he really is. Getting over someone has a lot more to do with knowing who you are and the story you tell yourself about your past than it does with trying to mitigate the pain every time you're reminded of them. And that's what they are doing here. Treating people like strangers, especially those with whom we once have been involved, helps us feel like we are somewhat superior. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, and doing so hurts more than just showing any sign of resentment. The person who's treated indifferently usually doesn't get why that's happening. After all, the person doesn't expect the partner to be a complete jerk. She looks at him, but he's someone else, a stranger, indicating understanding about the man's change for worse. They foresee their future and realize it's not their responsibility to mourn over him. Your lover, who you've been with for a great part of your life, suddenly changes and breaks your heart. There's nothing left to do, you can't change him, you can't go back to the past, so you laugh. It's so sad that it becomes comical. Everybody changes. Your neighbor who you used to know when you were a kid is not the same person as they were before. And the same goes for this man. She used to know him when he was a good person, but now that he's changed, she doesn't know who that is anymore. They say Han briefly before stating they will forget and erase the man from their memories. As I said before, Han is a mix of feelings circling wrath and despair, so it is implied that they'd rather erase the man from their lives, as well as all their memories together, than to live with Han. Forgetting someone is the easiest yet worst way to accept something hurtful. They ask him to not even try to look or come back. It's over and he should go away. Once again, the emphasis is on the past promises made by the man, trying to show how much of a jerk he is for breaking them. She was so sad due to finding out the man's real personality that she couldn't say anything back to him. She just sent him off. I go with God. Now she's the one who changed as if she'd taken a drug, and that is because she is filled with anger. The spell was broken. Anger is an active, gradual feeling that satisfies the brain, so when the love ended, the rage took over. Despite love being unpredictable, she says it was a predictable love, probably a reference to the standard love displayed in movies or even daily life where everything seems to be perfect. See, in the perfect romances denoted in the past verse, the love and passion are as strong as a starving lion. Usually, at the beginning of a relationship, there's a huge longing for connection with the partner, which grows stronger and stronger. Still talking about the empty promises, she states that if everything he gave her, both gestures and words, are all lies, then he's the worst person in the world. Despite wanting to see this man disappearing into outer space, she at least hopes that he was decent enough not to have faked everything. And that is because she's having a hard time accepting that he probably had no intention of fulfilling those promises and just exploited her amity, desires, and values with his deceitfulness. You know when your mom tells you to take a jacket because it'll be cold? You don't listen to her, and now it's freezing? That's what happened here. Her mother probably warned her about the man, and she didn't listen. Love is associated with the color red, and she's saying it has turned black, implying its end. An interesting thing here is that she's saying that everything is burned, which could be why it has turned black. After all, when something burns, its remains are black. This is also a reference to the sequel, Hwaa. Let's skip to the bridge because the pre-chorus and chorus are the same. I know that the theme of erasing the man seems rather repetitive, right? However, I think this is the exact point of the song. Throughout the song, the girls present defiance and resilience. As they refuse to succumb to the pain of heartbreak, they transform their anguish into strength. However, it doesn't mean that it'll hurt any less. And that's why I think the repetition is intentional. No matter how much you try, erasing someone from your heart is extremely hard. This is a camera gun that projects her memories. She's going to shoot it to erase all of her memories and finally forget the man. This is kind of confusing, but she's saying that she expresses her heart, or in other words, her feelings to his eyes. She expresses her heart through this song, and that's why she says that he'd be surprised to see how cold it is. The song conveys the feelings of Han in all aspects. It doesn't matter anymore if he apologizes and comes back. She saw a side of him that she wishes he'd never shown, and that changed everything, including her. In the last chorus, you can see flashes passing behind them on a pitch-black background representing the memories fading away until it's completely gone. Now to finish things off, let's talk about the imagery in the music video. At the beginning of the MV, we can see Soyeon standing on a sort of tree log. This can be a clear allusion to the hwaa tree. The tree that has fallen in this instance symbolizes death and loss, which is exactly how the girls are feeling. Following this scene, we see a scorpion, and this is something I mentioned in my Super Lady video. But in South Korea, some people believe that the scorpion represents strength and courage, and it is believed that those who can bravely face the animal are capable of any challenge. They were stung by a scorpion, but still admired it, showing their will to gain strength and courage to keep going. There are no theories for this video because Soojin was still in the group back then. Just kidding, I think every connection and explanation has been made, so I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I wasn't very good at explaining it. The song is about relationships, so it's hard to talk about it when you've never been in one. The next video will be breaking down Han alone in winter and after that hwaa, so please stay tuned. Thank you again and see you soon.